Hello, everyone. Welcome and thanks for waiting. Sorry, I'm late. I've been a bit, been a bit busy after work today. And for Insane Thacker, I've not even opened my budget. So I wasn't trying to find a bottle opener. I'm a man anyway. You twist them off, didn't you? Especially if they are easy twisting ones off. So, guys, welcome. Thank you for staying around an extra 5-10 minutes waiting for the for the stream. Really, really appreciate it. Hope you're all doing well. Hope everyone is cooling off a little bit. Although I do look a bit shy and a bit sweaty today. It's been a busy day. But yeah, thanks everyone for staying and watching. Today we're going to go over Rightmove's latest house price index, as one of you guys has mentioned. So yes, we're going to do that. And is the thumbnail for this video, is it a bit clickbaity? We're going to find out. So first of all, thanks everyone who's shown up. D Ghost was here nice and early. Toch, hello. Did you complete, Toch? How's your new house? Let us know, mate. Let us know. Hi, VJ. Nice to see you. Albs, Beef. Welcome, Albs. Welcome. Good to see you. Insane Thacker saying hello to everyone. Elena, hello. Yes. I've got me bar, just haven't opened it yet. Peace forever. Welcome. CL. Jane, hello. Welcome. I didn't know if he's going to make it this week, so welcome. CL, take my time. I did. I did. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. And yes, D, I was studying in between appointments some of this data. Bowen, I did have a Domino's, but that's not the reason I'm late. I was late out of work. That's the reason I'm late, and the Domino's had to get rushed down my throat as quickly as I could. I'm gonna regret that later, I reckon. Hi AJ, welcome to the channel. Great. So said hello to pretty much everyone. I hope. Right, yes. So we're going to go over Rightmove's latest videos. As you know, guys, we're going to do the information bit first, and then we'll get into some questions, and you can start sharing your house buying experiences with everyone. And we're going to go from there. So let me just get this screen ready to share. Share screen. Oh God, I don't know what I've done here. There we go. I'm still not used to this MacBook thing. It's Right, I'm hoping. Nope. Can you see that, guys? Can you see that? That'd be good to know if you can see that. That'd be fantastic. Also, you know the drill. If you can like this stream, that'd be fantastic. We're up to 11 likes at the moment, so let's get that up as much as we can. 37 people viewing. Let's get that like up. Let's get YouTube knowing that this stream is somewhat informative and maybe a little bit entertaining as well along the way. So let's get into these figures. Can you read that all right? Let's make me a bit smaller. Here we go. Right, so here we go. Price of property coming onto the market sees the first fall this year down 1.3% in the month to £365,173. So nearly a £5,000 drop in prices according to Rightmove. This isn't unusual. What we do tend to see during the August, the summer holiday for schools, etc., is there is a bit of a leveling off, or sometimes a drop in house prices, because there's not as many people looking to buy because they're busy with kids and what have you. So owners tend to price their properties a little bit more competitively to get the attention that they want, to try and secure a buyer before obviously we start talking about Christmas, which we've already done in this live stream. So as it says here, yep, the drop is on par with an average August drop over the past 10 years. So nothing too surprising there. Summer holidays are taking priority, and some new sellers are pricing more competitively to secure buyers quickly to beat the move before Christmas. It's almost like I've read this a little bit before. Demand continues to soften and supply constraints are improving, but there's still a massive imbalance. As you know, guys, every week we talk about the supply and demand between new properties coming onto the market and the amount of people who are looking to buy. There's still lots of people looking and not as much property on the market as we are used to historically. Buyer inquiries are down 4% on the hot market of 2021, but remain 20% higher than 2019. So you buyers, you're cooling off a little bit, but you're still a fifth more than what it was in 2019. New listings are up by 12% on the same period last year, but are still 6% down on 2019, while available stock is down 39% on 2019. So there's that imbalance that we talked about a little bit earlier. Latest interest rates of 0.5% is putting further pressure on buyer affordability, with the average monthly mortgage payment for new first-time buyers putting down a 10% deposit has exceeded £1,000 for the first time. So it's a lot of money. £1,000 of your wages going on your mortgage. It's a lot of money, guys. August marks 20 years of Rightmove's house price index, with the national average asking price more than doubling in those 20 years. So yeah, whoever says buying a house isn't a good investment, then hold on to it long enough. You're bound to see some gains. So what I want to stress from this report, guys, is Rightmove is all based on asking prices. This isn't actually sold prices, which is the figure that people end up paying for properties. So what I've been noticing in my town is that estate agents are still valuing like it's 2020, 2021, with these very, very high valuations to try and win the business, to rebuild their stock levels, and then hopefully try and get these sellers to reduce their houses to a more realistic figure. I went to a valuation 4 or 5 days ago. I said 620 to 650,000 pounds, and the next agent went £100,000 more than me, and they got it on the market. But that property is not, in my opinion, and what the data suggests, worth that money. And I'd imagine over the next weeks and months, that property is going to start reducing. I think that's what a lot of sellers have had to do the last 4 to 6 weeks, is they've tried too high with their asking price. So they've had to start reducing their prices. And that is having an effect on what Rightmove's figures are suggesting. So what I'm keen for you to take away from this is it's not sold prices that are dropping. This is asking prices, where people have pitched their house too much money to begin with, and now they're having to reduce to bring it down to what the market is willing to pay for it. And according to Halifax and Nationwide, it's still pretty similar to what last month was. We had one saying that house prices went up 0.1%, and Halifax saying the prices went down 0.1%. So if we just take the average from those two, the house prices have remained level over the last 4 weeks. But what Rightmove is saying is that vendors are being a little bit more careful in their initial listing price, and also starting to bring their prices down to attract the buyers, because they pitched it too high to begin with. What do you think? Do you agree with my synopsis of that with Rightmove? As we know, these are averages, so wherever you are in the country, you might be experiencing other things with prices going up. I know we have a few guys here in the southwest and Wales where prices are continuing to keep going up and up and up. So, we're always very keen to hear what you're experiencing. So, no, it's not clickbait. It's happening. Well, according to asking prices are coming down, and Halifax, they're saying that sold prices went down 0.1% last month, but Nationwide said that they went up 0.1%. So depending on what you read, you can read one source and make your decision based on that, or you can take your data from a number of different sources and come to your own conclusion, because different people have different access to different information, and therefore they can only give the information based on the data they're collecting. Like Rightmove only has the data for asking prices. Rightmove don't know what houses sell for until Land Registry publishes that, which is all public knowledge. So hi Alex, welcome my friend, welcome. Zara, hello there. Hello. Taki, hello to everybody. Toch is moved in. Congratulations, and it feels unreal. I'm so pleased for you, Toch. I'm sure a lot of the guys in the stream are really happy for you. And feel free, like what Jane does, to drop in any hints, advice. If any questions are asked, please feel free to put your spin on any answers that anybody asks. So Jane really helps me out in that. So feel free, Toch, if you want to jump in on that as well. Thermogas Avalas, welcome. Don't think I recognise your channel, your name. So welcome to the channel. Planet Pokewood, welcome. The title video. This is the title I've been waiting for. I hope it hasn't disappointed too much, Planet Pokewood. I really hope it hasn't. So Jane, we move on Friday. Oh, fantastic! Somebody else who's exchanging, completing. Had to catch us live after Tory Graph's latest doom and gloom. They do like spinning the the doom and gloom. Yes, you're quite right there, Jane. You're quite right. So congrats to Toch. Yes. And some love coming back from Toch as well. Yes, we can. You can hear me. I'm a bit behind on these guys, and I do apologise. Right. So, first question, MRS, welcome. If you haven't liked the stream, please give it a thumbs up. Hello, Lee. I pulled out of buying a flat. Interest rate creeps, putting the price up of monthly payments for mortgage. I'm happy to wait now, but until when? Thank you. I'm not sure if you're new here, Emma, but interest rates are going to keep going up. No one's doubting the fact that interest rates are going to go up, that everyone is saying that they're going to keep going up, possibly to 3% at some point towards the end of this year. What you've got to hope is that if there's any drop in prices for houses, that drop is significant enough to outweigh any increase in interest rates and payments is going to be on your mortgage for the next 2, 5, 10, however long you fix yourself in for. So you've really got to do your sums and work out whether waiting maybe a month to 3 months, you're going to save enough money if house prices drop compared to buying now and locking in a relatively low interest rate compared to where they could be towards the end of the year. So I can't tell you when to buy, but my advice on this channel is buy the house you need, not the house you want. And if you can afford to buy the house that you need and it's available, then go for it. If you're buying an investment, it's a whole different ball game. If it's going to be your home that you're going to be in for a number of years, then if you see a house you love and you can afford it, then my advice would be to go ahead and buy it. Gav, welcome. Gav will fix it. I could do with you in my life. I've got a lot of things that are broken, which I can't fix myself because I'm a desk man, not a handy man. Toch saying thank you to Sue. Welcome, Paul. Welcome back, my friend. Kay, welcome back as well. Emma, what's the interest rate? I mean, be very careful what you're sharing with interest rates because it's individual to you and your circumstances and the deposit you're putting down. So be very careful not to compare my interest rate's lower or higher than yours, blah, 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 all that, because it's all tailored to your individual circumstances, needs, and the type of property you're going for. So, just bear that in mind when you are if you are sharing any interest rates with the guys. So a lot of reductions in our areas. We're in Lincolnshire. So, okay. So is this ones that have been on the market a long time, Sue, or have they been on just a week or so and now they're starting to reduce? Because my advice, guys, if a house has been on the market for 3 or 4 weeks, these are prime ones that you should be looking to view and maybe put an offer in if it's just out your budget. And say put in an offer. All they can do is say no. You can always creep up. Jane saying a lot of reductions happening in Yorkshire area. One mid terrace has been on with 3 agents now, reduced 3 times. See, those are the ones that are clearly overpriced. But what you sometimes get are sellers that don't accept the fact that the house that they've got isn't worth the money that they want for it, and they'll go around from agent to agent to agent until they get the money they want. Whereas if an agent hasn't sold a property in this market in 2-3 months, then the price is clearly wrong. And even after 3 reductions, it's still saying that they've got it on for too much money. Jane, you should give them a knock on the door and tell them to watch the channel. Mr. Fee, welcome, my friend. Welcome. I was a little late as well. So I do apologise. Estate agent emailed me today saying the vendor has asked for a couple of weeks between exchange and completion. Is this okay? If you're happy with that, obviously the whole chain's got to be okay with the completion date. So if anyone isn't happy, then somebody's going to have to compromise somewhere. Normally 5 working days, so a week in between exchange and completion is relatively normal. Some lenders require 3 days before they can get the money to the solicitor after exchange. Some are 5 and some are 10 working days. So that might be the reason why your seller needs 10 days if they're getting a mortgage that requires 2 weeks notice for the money to be with them. Or it could be they need to pack, time off work, stuff like that. So if you're happy to wait, Kay, and you're okay with that and it fits in with you, then it's absolutely fine. If it doesn't work with you and the rest of the chain, then there will have to be a compromise somewhere from someone. But if you got to this stage, very rarely the deals fall out of bed if you can't agree a completion date. So generally somebody blinks. Tarek, hello. It's easy to exchange and complete it. It is. It can be. Your solicitor will need some notice if that's the plan to exchange and complete on the same day. That's called a simultaneous exchange and completion, or a SIM, as the solicitors like to call it. But yeah, if you are looking to do that, then your solicitor will need to give your mortgage lender advance notice of when the completion is, so they can make sure they have the completion money from the lender in their account. So you probably need at least a couple of weeks notice, maybe 10 days, to let your solicitor know, provided everything is ready as well. Question: I found 2 properties near Colchester, but they've been on the market for a little while. Any clues why? Generally, I would say if it's been a little while, we're talking more than 3-4 weeks, Albie, then it's probably the price. Probably the price. Not always. Sometimes properties have something wrong with them. Could be neighbours putting people off. Could be the size. But again, normally a reduction in price would solve that issue. If it's a leasehold property, it could be the lease is too short, or the terms of the lease, like doubling ground rent every 10, 15, 20 years. That can be a problem for some lenders. So there could be a few reasons, but my first assumption would be the price is too high. Second would be that there's something wrong with the property or the area. And third, if it's a leasehold property, there could be something sort of not quite right with the with the lease. And I think, have they given a reason? I'm going to be well behind on this tonight, guys. I do apologise. Yes, better to have exchange close to complete. So people giving their opinions, but it's not uncommon. I've had delayed completions for 6 weeks before. New builds. If anyone's buying a new build here, then you'll know that if the house isn't ready yet, you'll be asked to exchange contracts within 28 days sometimes, and you may not be able to complete for 2-3 months. So that's a bloody long exchange of completion. So yeah. So Jane's been going through this for 8 months from start to finish, including a new buyer as well. So well done, Jane. Stuck at it. And it's here to share her experience as well. Late but here. Thank you, Mick. Thank you for joining. I was late as well. We didn't kick off till about 22, so we've only been going sort of 15 minutes. So thanks for joining us. Alex, doubt house prices drop, rent is increasing, and houses are usually best asset as curb against inflation. This is it. I mean, if you're buying a property, it should be, well, to live in, it should be your home first and foremost. And then if it does make you money over the term that you're in the property, then fantastic. But generally, the housing market, house prices generally do pretty well. As I said, Rightmove said from 20 years ago, the average asking price has nearly doubled. I'm not saying that you have to stay in your house for nearly 20 years, but generally 5-10 years, if people stay in their houses, you will see some capital growth on your home, whilst also paying off your mortgage as well. So I just see my mortgage payment as a savings account. Each month I'm building up more and more equity in my house, which goes up with house prices, and it could go down with house prices. But generally, the housing market has way more ups than there are downs. I bet it'll be worth it when you move in. I'm sure she'll be very appreciative when she gets in there at last. There's an article landed today saying 4% reduction. Have you seen it? I've not seen it yet. I've had a very busy week, to be honest with you, Jane. I've not managed to do too much reading with my new little business in helping people offer on houses, which is I've had loads and loads of people inquire and set them up on the services. So trying to sort of manage that along with work and social life and family life is proving difficult at the moment. But yeah, I will get around to reading. I'll pay for the subscription, so I might as well use it, mightn't I? Maybe you can shed some light on it. They said to sort out their rental they're moving into, although initially they said they're moving with family. This is the problem when you buy a house that has no onward chain, where the people are still living in it. As long as they move out, they're not going back on their agreement. But sometimes plans change, and they were going to go with family. But if they've now seen a rental property they want, and it's going to take a couple of weeks to move into it, as long as they move out, Kay, and you've exchanged contracts, you know you're going to get that property and you're happy with that. That's the main thing. But I don't think that's unreasonable, but that's from me looking on the outside. You're the one that's been buying this property for however long and very keen to get in there, I'm sure. But yeah, I don't think 2 weeks is too long. It gives you chance to sort out utilities, change of dress, all those sorts of things, get your internet hopefully on order, on all those bits and pieces, and you can start doing some shopping, can't you? Start buying the bits for the house, which is always nice. Question, Lee from Give Me Food. In your opinion, is it better to renegotiate for a lower price by phone or by email? I do both. Whenever I'm putting offers forward for my clients on the offering service, I make the phone call, then I follow it up with an email. With the email, you can be a bit more factual and informative. You can attach any evidence as to why you're reducing your property, whether it be bad survey, needs more work, or being unvalued. You can put snippets of the survey report in, not all of it, just the valuation part, or attach a quote, which is why you are reducing your price, because you've got to pay for extra work. So I would certainly phone call, follow it up with an email. Then there's no room for doubt the figure that you are renegotiating. Hope that helps. Lee, do you know if our lender would let us transfer the mortgage agreement if we want to buy a property that's less than the original one we wanted to buy, possibly 50, 75,000 different? Speak to your broker, Boeing, but sometimes it is possible. Sometimes it is possible. You may have to go for a new survey to make sure the property value's up. But yeah, it's not uncommon for you to be able to sort of transfer your mortgage product, but definitely speak to your mortgage broker, because I'm not really allowed to give that advice. My opinion would be, an experience would be, yes, you probably could, but definitely speak to your broker. Ashley Deck, welcome, Ashley. Several that have been on the market for months aren't reducing the price or accepting our offers. I'm in the West Midlands. Seems like I keep having to look further and further away. Unfortunately, yeah, I mean, you do get some that need a certain amount of money to move, or they've had so much smoke blown up their by the estate agent, they can promise that they can get this price for them, that they've already gone and made plans based on selling at a certain amount. And if they sell it for anything less, then they're not going to be able to do what they want to do. So it can be really frustrating as a buyer, seeing these houses which aren't selling, but it's still worth putting the bids in, because they may be saying no now, but in a few weeks' time, buds open, they may come back and have a change of circumstances or a change of heart and look at your offer. Maybe not the exact offer you put forward, but they may come back with an offer not far short of what you've initially asked the question at. So still worth putting the offers in, and so you throw enough mud, something will stick generally, won't it? Do come up with an analogy every now and again, don't I? Mr. Userman 333. Hello, Lee. Thinking of buying a property at auction. Do I need to hire a solicitor to check the legal pack for every property I'm interested in? Not sure how So buying at auction is very risky if you're a first-time buyer, Mr. Userman, and I'm guessing a residential mortgage have to complete in a certain amount of time, normally 28 days. Sorry, exchange within 28 days. The legal pack will be prepared by the auction company, the seller, but you will want a solicitor to look at that legal pack to make sure there's nothing in there that would surprise you later on after the hammer has fallen. So I personally wouldn't buy at an auction. If a seller's selling at auction in this market, there's probably something wrong with the property. Albie, would my mortgage broker supply me with a solicitor, or would I need to source my own? I know, and a few others recommend Fisher Jones. Yeah, I mean, the mortgage broker may have a relationship with solicitors that they recommend. Your lender may also offer free conveyancing included in your package. I personally like to use solicitors that I know and like, and yes, I recommend Fisher Jones Greenwood as a company in general. So I would personally look to go with Fisher Jones Greenwood, but again, it's your money. If there's a cheaper option out there and you're happy with them, but look on the Facebook reviews, Google reviews, send them an email. If they come back to you quickly to your initial inquiry, then generally they're going to come back to you quickly when you're buying a house. So look for those factors. But I personally would go for Fisher Jones Greenwood rather than one that maybe a mortgage broker or your lender would supply. Koi Big 20. Nice name. Hi, mate. Are things really starting to settle down? I've been looking for almost 2 years, but people are bidding and fighting over scraps in Northern. Yes, I heard about it. For a rental property, there was a 2-hour queue for viewings just on a rental property. I know I don't want to throw away a hefty deposit at future value. So it will vary from area to area, but the last week I've been in work has been manic. Absolutely manic. I've had offers flying everywhere. Some of the people that were putting offers in on houses with the offering service I do, we're up against 3, 4, 5 different bidders, and we're getting into bidding wars and best and finals. So that would show that the demand in some of these areas is really, really high and continuing to be high as well. So you could wait. But I mean, you've waited 2 years, and if you go on average house prices, they've gone up 20% since you started looking 2 years ago. So your money's going less and less and less. And also your deposit sitting in the bank is worth less and less and less as inflation is going up as well. So 10 grand at January this year is only going to be worth £9,000 towards the end of this year. So you've got to take those factors in as well. But I'm not I was like, I don't cover Northern Ireland, obviously, but if you can afford it and you're going to stay there a long time, I feel like I keep repeating myself, but I can't stress it enough. If it's just going to be your home for a number of years, then, and you're going to stay there and enjoy it, then I don't see what you should be worried about in terms of negative equity. Negative equity. Bit of a tongue twister. Remember to give the live a like. Thanks for the reminder, Jane. Let's see what we're at. We're at 32 likes and 69 people watching. So half of you guys haven't liked the stream. Comment. It doesn't take much. And it really helps the channel. So please give us a like. That'd be fantastic. Actually, property I was looking at is labelled singular non-standard construction. What is that? Are they safe? It is on the mining area and cash only. Just trying to figure out the deal with them. So cash only means you're not going to be able to get a mortgage on, which basically means that lenders don't look at them favourably. I'm not familiar with singular non-standard construction, but you can get mortgages on non-standard construction properties like single brick, timber, prefab, stuff like that. Depending on lenders' sort of requirements and what risk they're willing to take. But if the agents put on their cash only, then chances are that it's not a mortgageable property, or lenders will struggle, a broker would struggle to find a lender that would lend on it on favourable terms. So yeah, if an agent's giving you a heads up that cash buyers only, it's probably worth one swerving, Ashley, and looking for a more conventionally built property rather than a non-standard construction. I wish I could help more. I might do some Googling on singular non-standard construction later, but yeah, I'm not too familiar with that at the moment. VJ, welcome back. Welcome. Should I be worried? The property location is great. It was built in 1935. The homeowner and estate agent is saying no asbestos at all. Not sure who to believe, surveyor or homeowner. So unless the homeowner has a complete history of any plastering that's been done, had any testing done on the property, same with the estate agent, then there is no guarantee that there's no asbestos in the property. There's some in Artex. So around the 1970s, when Artex was all in the craze, there was some form of asbestos used in that. I don't think it was to a level that would cause any harm, but there is asbestos in some Artex ceilings. Also, you could have a water tank which is made of asbestos. Again, if it's not disturbed, it's not too much of a problem, but you could, the surveyor could be covering their backsides just by saying, get an asbestos report done just in case. So the only way you're going to know is if you do get a report done, VJ, which could be at cost to you. You could ask the seller to split it, but if they can't give you proof that there isn't, then it'll be down to yourself or the seller to provide that proof if you wanted it. But personally, for me, it's only started coming up in surveys the last 5 or 6 years that asbestos could be present in properties. So it's a relatively newish thing that surveyors are bringing up. But if you want to get that sorted, then look to get an independent asbestos report done. I've got no idea how much they cost because not many people that I deal with ever get them done. Agent came back to us. Okay, I'll have to catch up on that because I must be further down. So yeah, if you haven't started writing what's happened, Milo, let me write it in the comment section. Lee, you're putting in some serious graft. It says due to the cost of living crisis, house prices predicted to drop by 4% in the next year. It doesn't take demand and lack of supply. This is it though. They do stuff which sells papers. Same with BBC and all the other news outlets. They want you to click on them rather than somebody else, so they can keep you on their channel and whatnot. So it's that's why everyone's got to be clued up enough to read lots of different things to make their own assumption. Watch channels like this and get a feel for other people who are actually in the business day in, day out, what we're experiencing on the ground. But yeah, I can't see in the next year. So they could drop 4%. They do, but that's not a lot in the grand scheme of things. They might be going up another 2-3% by the end of this year, and then it's not much of a drop at all. So it's all scare tactics. The media love it. They absolutely love it. VJ, what's the problem with asbestos? So there's something called asbestosis, which can cause lung problems. A lot of builders who were dealing with the material in the 60s, 70s, later in life are coming down with asbestosis, which is a killer. But I think the guidance is providing you're not disturbing asbestos and breathing it in consistently, then there's no major risk. But do some Googling and find out yourself, because it's it's not a nice thing to have. But again, surveyors have to cover their backsides with the potential risks of the property. That's what you're paying them for. Actually, a lot of lenders will not give mortgages when the house is of non-standard construction. If you're still interested, you should check where local mines are. One could be under the, it could be, yeah, it could be underneath. Again, that's not something that I experience in my part of Essex with mining, but yeah, I'm sure some of you guys who are in mining towns and cities where you could have a maze of tunnels underneath you. So, but I'm sure that mining search would show that. Hi, Mia. Welcome back, Mia. Welcome back. Running a few minutes late today, but hi, Lee. Thanks for the help. No, you're more than welcome, Flip Flop. More than welcome. You know where I am if you need me. I've got a new email address, actually, guys. I've gone and got my own domain name. I've got my own website as well, which needs some work. needs some work. But yeah, we've got a website. We've got our own sort of email address as well. It's a little bit more professional, I'm hoping. I'm just going to update it here. Let me know if you can guess what it is. No, I'm not a big person, but there we go. Look, Lee at leeeverettproperty.co.uk. How professional is that? The website needs work, though, guys. The website needs work. But if you do want to contact me regarding me offering on properties for you and the service I'm offering on that, ping me an email and we can have a chat. We can have a chat. Let's get to where we were. There we go. Flip Flop and then Penny Pap. Welcome, Penny Pap. Our mortgage approved with a 7.5% deposit. I'm thinking if we can give 10% deposit instead. Generally, yes. Now, I think Martin Lewis gives the advice that it's never really beneficial to be in between the two deposit thresholds, like 5, 10 or 10 or 15, something like that, because the money that you're putting towards your deposit, say if you're getting 3% at 15% deposit, you might get 2.5% at 20% deposit. But if you put 17.5% down or 7.5% down, then you're not going to benefit from any better interest rate. Will that money be better served in applying for a 5% deposit and getting the 5% deposit rate, and then the rest of the money being in your pocket? Speak to your broker. I really hate saying speak to your broker, because I would like to give my advice on that, but I can't until I've got my CMAP stuff. But speak to your broker. But generally, if you can get to that 10%, your interest rate should be lower. The more you put down, generally, the less interest rate. Abby, what is the difference between conveyancing and surveying? Would solicitors do both? Sorry, no dumb questions here. No dumb question. Oh, as Jane has just said, we're here to help. So the conveyancing side is the legal side. So they're the ones that check the property to make sure everything has been done properly and legally and protecting you from a legal point of view. Your survey will check the structure of the property to make sure the property is sound and there's no problems that you're not aware of. So two different things which run parallel with each other. So they're not stupid things. Surveyor can't do the conveyancing and the conveyancer can't do the survey for you. So you'll need to pay two separate people for that. And as Jane says, no dumb questions at all. Random question. Is there a chance to pay for service fees on freehold properties? Could that be possible? Is there a chance to pay sometimes on new build properties, you have to pay a management fee for certain facilities that need to be maintained, like a pump for a lake overflow or drainage system or something like that. Or there might be a park in your street which needs maintaining, which is privately owned, which needs maintaining. So sometimes freehold properties can have some yearly costs attached to them. Jane, if you think of anything else that I may have forgotten, if anybody else can think of anything, then let us know, because generally as a freehold property there's no services or maintenance fees, but it can happen with some newer build properties where there are services, parks for example, and things I mentioned earlier. So Jane, assess the condition of the property, conveyancing the legal process from buying a house, which is what the solicitors do. Searches your contract forms. So you're good. Question: what percentage lower would you offer on a house to start with? Would you recommend a slight lower price or be a bit cheeky? Depends on how much interest there is, and this is what we try and gauge when I'm offering on properties for people. Is I'll try and get as much information as possible from the estate agent to see how much interest is in it, and then we can guide on where your initial offer is. There's no point offering cheeky if there's 3 or 4 other people interested and they're in the same position and they're going to come in with a reasonable offer. So if there's no interest in it, Albie, and it's been on the market a little while, there's nothing wrong with a cheeky offer. However, if there is other people interested and you're bumping into people while you're doing the viewings and the agent's indicating there's interest, sometimes they could be fluffing it up, they could be making it up, but if it's a new property on the market at the moment and it's priced realistically, then chances are there will be other people interested in it. So, but yeah, gauge it on how long it's been on the market and how much interest there is. If it's been on the market a very short time, most sellers won't take much of an offer, but it's not where you start, it's where you finish. But what you don't want to do is insult the seller by offering too low that causes bad feelings and they don't want to sell to you because you insulted them with your first offer. So you could be cheeky, just not too cheeky. Again, you can email me if you need any more help on that. Boy, Big 20 only mentioned equity in terms of future loan to value, which may drive interest rate up mid maturity. Current have my debt. You currently have you got your house already. Excellent. So yeah, you're just going to keep building. If interest rates go up, if you're building up more equity, when you come to remortgage, then you should have a better loan to value and therefore your mortgage rate will be less anyway. So every month you're paying off the mortgage, building up equity, and then you should be getting a better loan to value. That's what I'm hoping in nearly 4 years time when I've got a remortgage, I'll have an extra X amount percent sitting in my house. So my remortgaging terms, even if interest rates are still high in 5 years time, I should be no worse off. Hopefully. Sophie, welcome, Sophie. Hi, Lee. I'm a first-time seller. Excellent. Welcome. Bought my house 6 years ago, though I've forgotten everything. Well, this is what we're here for. Jane, say hello to Jane, Sophie. She is also a seller and buying as well. She will be able to go through everything with you, and obviously I can sprinkle in my words of wisdom throughout as well. And chase them out, which makes me it does add up, mate. Does add up. Hello, Lee. Hello, Maya. Couldn't get here earlier, just had to put the one to it. Yeah, I have to do that as well. I get home from work, say hello to the little one, say hello to the wife, have some dinner, set this stuff up all within like an hour and a half. So it does get a bit, yeah. Don't worry about it. I appreciate that you're here. Don't forget to like it, mate, if you haven't already. Question, probably broken a cardinal rule. We've seen a property we like before our own is on the market. We're not far off now. We have instructed the solicitor and estate agent. EPC man is coming Friday, photos Tuesday. What I don't get is why agents take so bloody long to get photographs of houses. I mean, I've got a house that I lost out the valuation on, and it's not going on the market for 2 weeks because the photographer can't get around there. I'm like, in 2 weeks' time, the market could completely change. So get your house. I mean, your agent must be very busy, but Tuesday is better than 2 weeks' time. But yeah, you should really look at getting your house on the market first before viewing. As you know, you say it's the cardinal rule. But you're getting on the ball, you're doing it straight away. So well done. Any advice on how to proceed with an offer? Don't offer yet. That'll be my advice, Sophie. Wait until your property's sold. Express your interest via the estate agent. They may send you letters of interest to say that Sophie is interested in this property, and once she's sold her, she'll be coming forward with an offer. But at this moment, Sophie, I would let them know you're interested, get yours on and sold, and then start talking about figures and making offers. And if you need any help, I can help. Maya, I came here to give you the good news. Excellent. We exchanged this afternoon. Fantastic, Maya. Fantastic. We'll be completing and moving the end of next week. Oh, that's fantastic news. Everyone's just congratulations to Maya. That is absolutely fantastic news. Really pleased for her. Really pleased for her. We're up to 48 likes, guys. We need another 6 or 7 to beat last week's one. So let's do that if we can. Hit the like, not for me, but for Maya, for Toch, for Jane, that are all going to be moving. Or have moved or are going to be moving in the next week or so. And also Kay with her 2-week exchange. So congratulations for Maya. I met agent, called us after 4 months to ask if I was still interested. And I told him yes, but we'll now offer less due to a change in the market conditions, higher interest rates. How did that go, man? How did that go? Did you get it? I'm in suspense here. Very professionally. Thank you very much. Well, great news, Max. Yeah, excellent. It's what we like. EJ, I hope you're ready for a career change once Lee hires you as his PA. Jane knows this is a complete unpaid role. Where are all the decent properties losing? They will come, Ayla. They will come. Just be patient. Are you a little bit picky in what you're looking for? Are you picky? Could you maybe be a little bit more flexible? Just saying. Congrats, Mayor, with a move. Peace forever. Hi, Lee. What does it mean when a house is with tenant in situation? Would it be for investment only? As also mentioned, a yield of 4.3%. I read that it can be risky. Yeah. So tenant in situ means that the seller is selling the property with a tenant in situ. So you would need to be a cash buyer to buy that, or have a buy-to-let mortgage in place. If you've got a residential mortgage on this, your solicitor will not let you exchange contracts until that tenant has vacated the property. So, and at 4.3%, that doesn't seem a great investment anyway for somebody. So, it would be risky because you would have to wait. You'd have to get right up to exchange of contracts and hope the tenant had moved out. If they hadn't moved out, then you're going to have to wait for the tenant to be evicted. But it doesn't sound like the seller is willing to evict the tenant. Otherwise, it would be sold with no one with chain and no tenant in situ. So, you wouldn't be able to buy that as a first-time buyer. You'd be able to buy it as a buy-to-let investor with your 20-25% deposit, and you'd have to keep on that tenant until you was the owner, and then give them notice once their fixed period has ended, and hope they move out. Bear with me, guys. Have a swig of the fluids. Oh, that's better. Hope that helps. Some more congratulations for Matt. Excellent stuff. We're up to 52 likes. We're so close. Come on, a few more likes, and then we've hit the record. Matt, we weren't happy being pushed to complete a week earlier than we asked for, as we're the only ones paying rent. But one of the people in the chain was being a bit nasty, threatening to drop everything. But happy it's all done now. Sometimes people do throw their toys out of the pram and do dig their heels in and threaten to pull out. 99.9% of the time, that doesn't happen. That really doesn't happen. But it can do. But well done for sticking with it. It's really worth it. Really worth it. Yes, my parents pay a service charge for their new build, freehold, or maintenance of the green. Exactly that. Yep. Thanks for contributing there, Kay. My parents are exactly the same. This is why some of us need your help, Lee. Once I get that AIP, first thing emailing the magician. Cheers. So what Albie's referring to is I'm offering an offer service where I will submit and negotiate an offer on a property for you to try and get you the most favourable price. I'm not going to guarantee I can save you money, but what I can do is make sure you're not pressured into paying more than what you want to pay, being that barrier between you and the estate agent. Although the estate agents do like to try and go round me if they can and go directly to my clients to try and do a few things. But most of the time the agents do come through me, and I can negotiate that offer for you. I would be more than happy to help you out, obviously for a fee. Thanks everyone. Wishing you all good luck with your house purchasing journey. Thank you, Matt. And don't be a stranger. Just because you complete and you become a homeowner doesn't mean you can leave us. Tosh hasn't. Tosh is back. Jane's going to stick around as well, I hope. So please do. Are you seeing any vendors coming to you looking to sell due to unaffordability mortgages? No, not at the moment, Matt. Not at the moment. I think a lot of the evidence is saying that I think 75% of the country are on fixed term mortgages that for the next couple of years. So only a quarter of the properties are on standard variables. You might start seeing those coming onto the market or looking to sell quickly, but I don't think we've felt the full effects of the interest rate increase just yet. I reckon you're probably looking next year before people start feeling the pinch. I mean, if I hadn't gone for a 5-year fixed rate last year, October next year, my mortgage would be probably doubling, which my interest would be doubling, which would not have been a good thing. But no, not seeing it just yet, Matt. Not seeing it just yet. Hi, Sophie. I would say be patient. Things seem to be taking longer. Yep, stay patient. Mr. Abby, I had a chat with Lee last week on the phone. I'm using him as my property consultant. Best decision I made. Very professional and proactive with all the parties. You will not regret it. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you. That's really nice of you to say. I really appreciate that. I need to use your real name then. If I do, I'm sorry. Hi, Lee. Many thanks for your advice earlier this week. I'm still waiting for confirmation with regards to my offer. However, the estate agent wants to complete next month, so we'll see. Well, that's all you can do. You've done what you've done, and now it's time to sort of play the waiting game, see what happens. I've got my fingers crossed for you, Miss Detox. Really hope it works out for you. And DM giving me some crap for being late for setting up gear. Just open the camera app on your bloody iPhone. Then I wouldn't be able to see all the comments, would I? Come on, and do all these flashy things popping up on the screen and play music in the background. Come on, mate. Got a bit of production value here, even though I'm sweating in this hot dining room in this harsh light I've got going on. Great here. Thanks, Mr. Finch. I'm hope I can help you guys out. Sorry, I'm late. Don't worry. I was late as well. Update. The sellers accepted our down valuation offer of 385. We're now looking for sale. Fantastic. So you don't ask, you don't get. Congratulations, Louise. Really good news. Mr. Lee, I really appreciate Lee's commitment to real estate. It's great to see I had a legal career but switched career 4 years ago. Lee's real life experience is so valuable. Thank you very much, Jane. You've mentioned you was in the legal industry. Was it conveyancing or was it something else? A rubbish memory. So congratulations for Louise. Fantastic. How likely are lenders to look at the distance of the property from work, house in Colchester, yet have a business in London? Thanks. So this will vary from lender to lender. And again, I've got to be careful what I say. They do look at distance. I mean, I don't think Colchester to London it's commutable, as you know, living in Colchester or living in London, looking to go Colchester, it is commutable. Was it an hour on the train? It's an hour and 20 from me to London Liverpool Street. So I've had people that commute to and from. So I wouldn't think that was too much. But individual lenders will have their own requirement on how far away you can work from the house that you are potentially buying. So again, Albs, another question for your mortgage broker. I really need to do my mortgage exams, don't I? I really need to do these. I could help you so much more if I'd done those exams. Farsi, hello, Farf. Welcome back this week. We are selling and the buyer's surveyor from the bank is down valued by 10%. Any advice, please? We haven't made any offer on any property yet, and we find it difficult to find a home that is suitable. So, right, you're on the receiving end of what I've been dealing with a few people recently on the channel is where the buyer's mortgage, is it the mortgage valuation or a home buyer's? Because the mortgage one's probably the one that has the most weight because that's what the lender's saying it's worth. So you need to ask if there's any way the buyer can make up the difference. If they can't, is there any way you could meet halfway? If not, is there any way you can drop that 10%? Because sometimes, I mean, you've got a 50-50 chance whether the buyer goes for a different mortgage lender and a different surveyor says a different price. You could be rolling the dice. The next surveyor could say even less. And also the buyer, if they do go for a different mortgage, they may have a higher interest rate, which means they may not be able to afford paying you the money they once agreed to fastly. So I'm really sorry that's happened. It is happening a little bit more often, as I'm sure you guys are noticing on the channel. Literally a month or two ago, I was saying how not many down valuations are happening, but every week we seem to be getting a few more and a few more. So best advice would be speak to the agent and see if they think the buyer can make up the difference, or if there's any flexibility or willingness from the buyer to be able to make a deal happen, whether it be they come up some and you come down some and maybe meet in the middle. But yeah, just have a chat with the agent. They're working for you on this one, Lily, and hopefully they can try and get some information out of the buyer to see if they would be interested in meeting halfway or something. Have the buyers come back. I'm guessing, reading between the lines, that's telling the agent to get onto the buyer is to put the feelers out before they come in with a counter offer. Hi Jane, she's a first time buyer and says she does not have the money to add unless we give her time to collect, save money, but we do not know how much long. You could ask that question, Lily. Ask the question, how long is it going to take you to save this 10%? Because if you haven't found anywhere yet, then there's no massive urgency at this moment in time. So she might need a couple of months to do it if she can borrow it or what have you. But yeah, ask how long she needs, and if you're willing to wait that long, then great. If not, and she's going to take months and months and months and months and months, then that's when you should start thinking whether you can maybe come to an agreement. Maybe if she can't come all the way, maybe halfway might be a sort of a happy place to meet if you both can do it, obviously. Man, definitely pop by every now and then, Lee, and share some tips based on our experience, which might help us. Perfect. Thank you. Really appreciate all your support and advice along the way. It's been bright. Thank you so much. I say I'm the guys in the chat as well. Jane, Cheryl, who pops in every now and again as well. Toch is going to come back. Yeah, we're all giving that advice. So that's really great. Really great. Where are we? Would you risk going for a shared ownership property instead of a freehold just because the location is better? Probably not personally. It's a very personal question. Again, depends on your circumstances. I personally would. I don't like the idea of shared ownership myself. Having a third party have a share in my house. So if I wanted to do things, would I need to ask permission? If I want to knock a wall out or put a new kitchen in or do stuff like that, am I doing things which is going to add value, not just for me, but for somebody else as well? Does that make sense? So if you're going to be sort of improving the property, and then when you come to sell, you've got to share that improvement with that shared ownership company, then yeah, I don't know. It takes a shine off it a little bit for me. But location is king, isn't it? They do say location, location, location. But if location is your compromise, you can get a freehold property where you don't have that shared ownership factor. Remember, when you come to sell as well, there will be some people that don't want shared ownership properties and they want to own a property outright and freehold or outright leasehold. So yeah, it can be a bit of a grey area, Miss Detox. But me personally, I would go freehold. Guys in the comments, what do you reckon? Would you buy a shared ownership or would you go for a freehold property in maybe a not as good location? Let us know. Let us know. I should do that a bit more often and ask other guys' opinion as well. Yep, would be very doable in terms of travel to Liverpool Street. It's 40 minutes from Kelvin. Yep, so I don't personally think that the mortgage company will have too much issue with that. But again, speak to the broker. They'll go through their handbook and see which lenders want you to be within certain distance of work. But I wouldn't see that being a problem. But again, double check that. Hi Lee, how are banks valuing properties if you're aware? So most of the time they'll attend the property and obviously give their price. One of my clients I'm dealing with at the moment, because they put such a large amount deposit down, the surveyor done a desktop valuation based on the property details and sold price history and stuff like that, and downvalued the property by £37,000, I think it was. So quite a lot of money that they downvalued it. But with my help, we managed to renegotiate the sale to a more favourable term for both the seller and my client as well. But yeah, I think there are a few surveyors who are becoming a little bit more selective and a bit more careful with their valuations. We're certainly seeing, especially in this chat and in the people that are emailing me, more and more down valuations happening. Haley, the house I will buy will be freehold, but now is leasehold. My sister says I still need to pay the legal fees plus VAT for the leasehold title. Can I send to remove the fees or no? No, because if you're buying a property, they need to do the leasehold checks for you, Jin Ming. They'll need to go through, make sure the leasehold title is good before you exchange. Is it going to be freehold on completion? Are you buying the freehold? Need to know a bit more information, because you can buy a leasehold flat where you own a share of the company that owns the freehold. If that's the case, then you still have a lease. You're still the leaseholder, but you will own a part of the freehold. Hope that makes sense. But give me some more context down below. I've noticed there's a lot of properties on the market in Dartford, but in the areas we was looking, like Redhill, Swanage, there is a shortage. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how far apart that is. My geography isn't always that great, but yeah, different areas. I mean, I've even got areas in my town that's like a square mile of properties. Even inside that square mile, will have little individual micro markets with different prices, where semi-detached bungalows are selling more than detached bungalows in another part of this little micro market. Some roads have more houses for sale than others, so it really can massively differ from area to area in terms of property stock and availability. I was a young, naive trainee solicitor. Started in remortgaging, advanced real estate and financial services. Wow, switched to financial service. Fantastic. Oh, wow. You can definitely stay. You are, Jane. Look, Jane, she knows it all. I feel a little bit intimidated, Jane. Very intimidated. Thank you, Jane, from Louise. Avoid shared ownership. You are stuck renting that part you don't own. I would imagine you could probably staircase maybe to full ownership. You could buy more property. But for me, as some of the guys are saying here, freehold, prefer freehold. Freehold only for me. Don't want another king in my castle. Them always has a way with words. Freehold, in Jane's opinion, yep, yep. Freehold, yep, yep. So I hope that answers your question, Miss Detox. That a lot of people, yeah, are saying freehold. But again, everyone has different circumstances. This is why there are different schemes to help different people get on the property ladder. Whereas some areas are so expensive that the only way to get on the ladder is via shared ownership. And if you've done your own research and you're happy with that, then you got to go for it if it fits with you. If it fits with you. No shared ownership. If the property has cladding, assuming it's a flat, you're 100% liable. Depending on the heights and the current rules that the RICS Chartered Surveyor bring out, and the lenders, what they say, and the management and leasehold pack. So if you've got a freehold property and it's cladded, then it's up to you. Flats, there's a lot of stuff going through the government at the moment where, leaseholders shouldn't be responsible for replacing flammable cladding. But yeah, that will be on an individual block by block basis. I don't have too much experience. I don't have many high rise blocks of flats with cladding in my area. So but I've dealt with a few, and it can be a bit of a minefield, that cladding scandal, can't it? Definitely avoid shed unless it's your only option to get on that. Exactly. The rent on shared ownership goes up each year, and to staircase, you have to pay legal fees. Oh, great. Good to know. Thank you, IMO. Again, I say this is why I love this community, because I don't know everything about everything. And with Jane's experience and you guys who have dealt with things or maybe made your own inquiries, you can offer that advice as well. So thank you so much for sharing that, IMO. I really appreciate that. We are up to how many? 60 likes, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. If you just joined, please give the stream a thumbs up, because we're on a record for the amount of likes and the amount of viewers as well. 80 people viewing. Really, really good. Kay Hicks, I don't even want leasehold, but it's my only option as a solo buyer. Leaseholds aren't all that bad, Kay. They're really not, providing the lease is okay. And I'll go into that in a second. So if the lease length is a decent length, your ground rent isn't something that increases exponentially every 10, 15, 20 years, and your service charge is reasonable, then a leasehold property can be perfect for people. Absolutely perfect, especially if you don't want outside space and you don't want to be responsible for a building. That's what your service charge is for, insurance for the building and stuff like that. Then leasehold can be a good thing to have. So if it's your only option and you're forced into it, then as long as those things are okay, then I don't think you'll have any issues, and you should have no issues when you come to sell as well. But that's what your solicitor will double check when they're going through that legal paperwork for you. Shared ownership is just secured. I suppose it is, isn't it? I suppose it is. If you want to staircase buy further shares, you have to pay at the current market valuation and pay for the valuation. Yeah, so very much like if you want to start paying back the Help to Buy equity loan, if the I think you've got to pay back in 10% chunks of what the current property value is. So if the property's gone up, so you bought it for 200,000, you had £200,000 house, and you owe £20,000 on it, you'd have to, and it went up to 220, you would owe £22,000. So yeah, that it will get more and more expensive the higher the house prices go. Many thanks, guys, but it's the location that's calling me. It's wooing you, is it? The location is wooing you. Hopefully my offer will be accepted on a freehold. If not, may have to be that's absolutely fine. This is what people's opinions are, Miss Detox. You know what's going to work best for you. Okay? Opinions are like that. Was it arseholes? Everyone's got one. Everyone's got one. But you're the one that's going to have to deal and live and pay a mortgage and whatnot. And if it gets you where you want to be, then absolutely go for it. Go for it. Freehold if I can afford it. However, convenience is important to me, so definitely consider shared ownership just to get the property. It could be a stopgap. So if it works for you, then definitely do it. But if you can go freehold, it is more preferred. Ben Stenson, hi Lee. I've been a lurker for some time. That doesn't sound creepy at all, but welcome to the channel, my friend. Welcome for joining the chat community as well. Give it a like if you haven't already, my friend. Thank you for joining me. Amber, welcome, Amber. 22 and just bought a house with my boyfriend. Congratulations. Your videos have been very helpful. Oh, you're more than welcome. And thank you for taking the time to, even though you've bought a house, joining me as I rock this table and sharing. So thank you so much, Amber. I hope you'll stick around and help out other first-time buyers as well. And congratulations, 22. You're well ahead of the curve for the average first-time buyer age. So well done, you and your boyfriend. Really, really pleased for you. Really pleased for you. Holly, it'll be a freehold on completion. The vendor in process of buying that. Yeah, well, until he's finished buying the freehold, then it's a leasehold property. You could wait for the freeholder, the seller, to buy the freehold, then commence buying the property and buy it as a freehold flat. Then you shouldn't have to pay any extra charges for leasehold bits and pieces. But it depends if you want to start getting the process started or not. Freehold for me for Sunshine Star. Hello, Sunshine. Don't recognise you, so welcome. LB, full of questions this evening. I love it, mate. How long should an AIP take from the broker once you fill out the fact form, assuming most brokers use it? Not too long. I would imagine 48 hours, you should be getting something back, depending on how busy they are and lenders and stuff. A nut and bolt's just falling out of the chair I'm on. I think my chair might be collapsing. That's really embarrassing. I put these chairs together as well about 6 months ago. So if you see me drop all of a sudden, my DIY flat pack skills have failed me. But yeah, normally 48 hours, Albie. Normally 48 hours. Not at all. Your knowledge is top notch. Can't beat real life perspective. Learn a lot on these. Oh, thank you very much, Jane. Thank you. AIP same day. Yep. Can be the same day. You said your name again. Hours. Remember to give the stream a thumbs up, like. Thank you. Okay. I hear you with the location calling Miss D, so I managed to get the same area I wanted, but it took over a year of searching. And I bet you saw a massive increase in price in that time as well, Kay, didn't you? I'm sure you did. Really hope it doesn't take that long for me. I hope it doesn't as well. I'm not sure. I was very picky. I'm almost got with the chat at last. Yeah, I'm hoping I don't fall off the chat. We're approaching that hour sort of time, guys, where I've caught up with the questions as well. So I'm gonna go and spend the rest of the evening with my wife, with my Budweiser, watch some crap TV, and I'm gonna wish you all a lovely evening. Again, if you want to take me up on my buying process, I've just seen some comments about some chairs. Well, you can have what's this? Well, you have to add the chair to the list of things you need to fix it. All right. If you could do a super chat or a super thanks, right, I could afford better chairs. How about that? Thanks, Steve, for doing this channel. It really helped me and my wife on our purchase. The community is growing. Keep us up. Thanks, everyone, for sharing. Yeah, I mean, this has been probably the busiest live stream we've had. So thank you so much for everyone for joining. I think we peaked at 81 people. So, yeah, I'm really, really pleased. Really, really pleased that we managed to hit that. And there is the... It hasn't snapped. I haven't broke it. It's not snapped. That's just come out. I don't know where the bolt is. I'll best find that before the baby wakes up in the morning. So, guys, thank you so much. I will try and fix the chair if I can. Have a wonderful evening, everyone, and I'll see you next week. Again, if you want to have a chat with me about the house offering service, £200 for the next... It's not going to be long. I'll be doing it for that price. It will go up. It will go up. So if you are interested, Lee at leeeverettproperty.co.uk. I've got a website, leeeverettproperty.co.uk, with a little bit more information. So please feel free to check that out. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. I hope you have some great news as well. Just laughing at the chair. Thank you, Mr. Maffei. I'll look forward to seeing that money hit my account. Thanks, Ian. Great. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Love to you all, and I'll see you next week. Take care.